You okay?
We're live. It's lit.
All right, so we've got another guest here, the owner of Grampas Boxing Gym.
What up? What up?
Former boxer herself, Jessica.
Yes, former boxer.
I don't want to screw up your last name, but it's Rangel?
Yeah, Rangel if you're white, Rangel for all my Latinos.
Oh, there we go. All right.
I fall somewhere in the middle of that, I think. So.
Okay, so how would you say my last name?
Rangel.
Okay,
Yeah.
I say it like that too.
So I've come to your gym for sparring and for many shows, and when I put on a show, it's always nerve-wracking, and I'm not relaxed until it's over. Is it the same for you?
Well, let me ask you this: how many shows have you put on?
I've only done 4 in my gym. I choose not to do them anymore, though.
I know. I wish to choose not to do them, but I could see why it was nerve-wracking. In the beginning, it was. I would stress over it a lot, but doing it over and over and over again, I've learned, honestly, the shows turn out great no matter how much stress you put into it. So I just wing it. It's always a good show. Have more fun with it now. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, can you tell us a little bit of background about your gym? It's got an interesting name.
Grampas.
Yeah, Grampas.
Yes. So Grandpa is no longer with us, unfortunately, but he is my grandfather, my dad's dad. And growing up, he was just all about boxing, breakfast, lunch, dinner, boxing. So growing up, I always, remember watching Holyfield and Tyson, all those fighters just in my living room. So I always had, boxing, whether we're watching it or going to fights. I know he would take me. I have like all these pictures as a little girl with the ring card girls, and I'm just like, 5 years old, and I have some like half naked girls next to me in the pictures. So growing up, I always had boxing. So I started training at a gym that closed down when I was about 16, and I told him, I've always loved fitness. I knew that I wanted to do something in fitness, so I gave him the encouragement, let's open up a gym. So in 2011, we opened up a gym, and then just, never looked back. After the first year, we were lucky enough to expand, and thanks to God, we've just been super blessed. People keep coming and coming and coming, and we have now about 300 members. So a lot of people in here, and we just hit our 7-year anniversary. So we hope for 7 more.
Well, you've done an excellent job having only been here for 7 years. I was telling Marco, this is my first time being here. I'm happy to have been here. There's a lot of really entertaining fights and things like that. Your gym looks like the type of gym that you see like in the movies.
In the movies, yeah. We get that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, my grandpa had a vision. I think when you have a vision and you're passionate about things, God tends to bless you. Like he since he was little, he had a vision of having a gym, and he set it up exactly how he envisioned it. We have Ring magazines all over the. Yeah. So he's been collecting those since 1940. And, collected them in hopes of one day putting them up on his gym walls.
No, it's totally awesome vibe in here. A good experience. I think anyone who has a chance to come out and check out the show, really enjoyable. I also want to ask, though, as someone you've been up on the apron a number of times tonight, you are a host, a very gracious host. You've been in the ring making announcements and doing different things. Do you get a chance to enjoy a lot of the action? Because there's, from my perspective and Marco, we've gotten to sit here and see some really incredible and entertaining fights. Do you get a chance to enjoy that?
I try to. As I'm walking, I'll look over and I'll cheer on my teammates. But no, it goes by so quick. Like on show days, I don't even eat. It's just
really?
so quick. We're here since 7 in the morning. Weigh-ins at 8. It's an all-day event. So I don't really get to enjoy it too much, but we make it possible with my team. I'm so lucky to have the support system that I do have, because they take a lot of stress away from me as well.
So it feels like it goes by fast for you, because it is a long day.
Yeah, it's a very long day. And then we the fights end like about maybe 5:36. We're still here till like 8, 9 cleaning, because we're opened up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I gotta open up. So yeah, we gotta put the bags back up. We gotta turn this showroom back into a boxing gym.
No.
And that's why I choose not to do it anymore.
I think, I was actually going to have a fight at Team Science once.
You yourself?
Yes, myself. But I remember the girl didn't show up. I had a pre-match, and she didn't show up. So
were you there?
I was there. Yeah. I
Oh
was there.
man, I think I remember that.
Yeah. This was like maybe back in 2012, 2013.
Yeah, we had a few shows, but the thing about it, it's a lot of work and it takes some money. It's not cheap to do the show.
It's definitely not cheap.
Yeah, I mean, and you don't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
If anything, you're hoping you get your money back.
Exactly.
So you really do it for the fighters, for the boxers, and the kids, so they get to compete. But our gym's small, where we really couldn't fit so many people in, so we kind of weighed the cost, and we'll pass on the next one.
Like I said, my family has been very blessed. When you pull up into this gym, you see the unlimited amount of parking.
Oh yeah.
Usually locating gyms, they're in residentials or they're on the street. We have, we're in a warehouse, so we have a lot of space, and we're very lucky. Like, we looked for the gym for 2 years before we got this gym.
How much square footage do you have here? It's a huge gym.
Yeah, we're really big. It's about 10,000 square feet. So
wow.
It's really, really big.
I guess 6,000.
Yeah, he said 6. He was way off.
Well, you don't see all the hidden space. You're probably right, 6,000 gym space. But we have offices. We have, we have like a showroom. We have different things as well.
Have you shot commercials? Have brands come here to shoot
sometimes
commercials
people
and
come
movies?
through. They've done movies, commercials, so we're always open to people coming and renting the space.
I was telling Chris, it's very visually stimulating. Sometimes it's like it's overstimulating. So many posters, and it's very, very colorful in here, but it's well put together.
I definitely can't take credit for that because for me, I hate it. I love very simple, if you could throw up like a brick wall up in here and then just like block walls or something, like very simple. That's what I'm into. To me, it looks like somebody threw up pictures in here. Like somebody literally was sick and threw up a bunch of pictures. But I mean, that's the boxing feel. When you think boxing gym, you think this gym. So I can't take credit for that, but I've gotten a lot of compliments. I'm just thankful that my grandpa wanted to.
Well, I want to know who laminated all the posters, because almost like 90% are laminated. It's like
we did. It was a team effort.
That's a big bill at Kinko's.
Yeah, we go to Staples.
Oh, there you
Shout
go.
out to Staples. Yeah.
Worked out. You mentioned something, actually. You said that you were pre-matched for a fight at Sweet Science, and I think pre-matching in the past has been something that was really important in women's boxing.
Still to this day. Yeah.
Still, that was going to be my question. Is it still a problem to have? You had a number of women on the card here tonight.
Yeah.
Is it still a problem to have female competitors in amateur boxing? Is pre-matching a big part of it?
Yeah, it's a big part of it. I recommend for females, don't go to a show unless you're bored, have time, or a pre-match. If you have a pre-match, because even then you're not guaranteed a fight. You're not going to fight until you're up in that ring. We had like maybe 3 bouts fall through today. So literally, there's so many things you have to go through. You have to go through the weigh-ins. You have to make weight. If you don't make weight, you're out. You have to make sure the doctor clears you. If you're not cleared by the doctor, or if your blood pressure is a little bit elevated, you're out. If you don't have the proper attire, you're out. So there's so many things that go into it. So definitely for females, since there's not so many, get a pre-match. Always pre-match, and even then, cross your fingers and say a prayer because you're not sure if you're gonna fight or not.
So is it hard to get that experience then, as someone who came with a background of female boxing? Sparring partners, training partners, things like that?
Yeah, all males. Yeah, you're sparring the boys always. Yeah, sparring's not an issue, but it is a lot better when you get to spar a girl. It's a different instinct comes out of you, that estrogen maybe, when there's 2 females in there as opposed to a male and a female. I always did better, and I always loved sparring girls. It's a lot harder sparring the boys, but it makes us better. And we'll take anything we can get.
How many bouts did you end up having?
I ended up having 16 total.
Oh wow.
12 wins, 4 losses. I got to fight international. I got to fight in Tahiti, New Zealand. So it was a lot of fun for me. I never went pro because I just kept having too much fun. Once you go pro, you can't go back. But I probably, I always say I want to do one more, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's just a lot of time consuming, and I don't like to, take shortcuts. So if I'm going to do something, I want to be full force committed with it, and it's really hard to do that right now. So we'll see if that ever happens.
That's something that I've noticed with a lot of boxers.
One more.
Professional level and the amateur level. Yeah, everybody always wants one more.
Always a fighter.
They want one more.
I'll get in and do some sparring with some of the guys in the gym, but then
That's my cardio.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't go run. I just go spar because it's forced cardio there. So when I feel like a little heavy, I'm like, all right, it's time to spar again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's I give boxing a lot of credit for keeping me in somewhat shape. I think if I got into any other business or profession, I might have gained like 50 pounds already, but. I don't know. It's nice to have a gym, be able to work out.
Yeah, and even when you're at the gym, you don't even. Sometimes you can go be there and you don't work out all day.
Yeah.
People tell me like, well, you're at a gym, you're always working out, and I'm like, nah,
No.
it's really hard to work out. Like I have to work out after hours or come in earlier because there's so many distractions. I'll look around like, oh, this needs to be cleaned, or like, oh, I need to put this away, or you make so many excuses not to work out.
So as the gym owner, as the head of the gym, this is a full-time job for
Yeah,
you. You're running the
full-time
gym?
job. I graduated college back in 2015, and then just been full-time here. So when we opened up 2011, I was pursuing school and this, and now I'm just full-time dedicated here. It's life-consuming. I live here pretty much. If we're not here, we're at tournaments, competing. So it is 24/7. It's not a 9 to 5. You're here.
Well,
I'm here opening, closing, cleaning on the weekends. Yeah, I do it all.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and it's definitely it's something you have to love to do and to be around. It's but I tell people once you get involved in boxing, and if you get the bug, the boxing bug hits you. After that, forget it. You're not doing anything else but boxing.
Yeah, it just feels weird. Like when I don't come to the boxing gym, I feel weird. I'm like, wait, what am I missing? I forgot to do something today. I can't remember the last day I had off. Like I'm due for a vacation for sure. I'm ready for a vacation.
Well, Chris asked me a really interesting question earlier. I've had my gym for about 10 years, and he asked, when I first opened it, how welcoming it's, because it's a small circle. After you've been in it for a few years, it seems like a small circle. We all kind of know each other. But after you opened, how long after did it take for you to feel acclimated and really feel like part of the LBC, where you were accepted, where the gym was respected, where your fighters were respected?
I was pretty young when we opened the gym. I was about 19 and going to turn 20 when I opened up the gym, so I made a lot of mistakes. I kind of maybe disrespected the wrong people, but it all kind of worked out in my favor. We got known pretty quickly, and I was competing at the time too, and I was pretty good in amateur, not just to be competed, but I was known. I got to travel with the USA team. The officials, they knew me because I would compete, but then I would also have coach kids. We had a lot of events here. They loved the way we hosted our events, so we kind of blew up instantly. And I'm not sure if we were accepted instantly, but kind of forced my way in there, and then it just,
we got a winner.
I guess I grew on them. They learned to love me after a while.
How do you feel now that you see, girls like Michaela Mayer, main event on ESPN, and then
Yeah,
Clarissa
it's
Shields
awesome.
having big fights? I mean,
The event on Showtime, Clarissa Shields.
I think it's awesome. I think it's about time girls get recognition. But I think that's with anything, in any job, even 9 to 5 jobs, the girls don't ever get all the recognition they deserve. And that's just society to blame. That's nobody but just ourselves to blame, really. But I'm really appreciative of what girls are doing in boxing because they train just as hard as the boys. And sports it's a unisex. Sports are co-ed. There's not like a girl sport or a guy sport. It's anybody can compete in any sport. I don't care if it's ballet or if it's boxing. It's co-ed, so there shouldn't be any bias or anything. I'm glad girls are finally getting recognition. It's been long overdue. I do believe that Michaela and Clarissa, they went about it the right way with their amateur background because it is so hard already for a fighter to get known. A lot of these guys, they go pro right away. They don't really have an amateur career, and it doesn't really go in their favor. They have a lot more of an uphill battle. But if you stick to the amateurs, and make your way up top in the amateurs and just keep fighting, win or lose, it's just they want to see you out there. They want to see you at every single tournament. Then I think that's the way to go about it. And I think Michaela and Clarissa, did that exactly well.
I think that's something that a few shows ago, Marco and I were talking about that, and I mentioned that the amateur pedigree being such an important part just for the amount of looks that you get, different opponents, different speeds, different powers, things like that. And when you look at the people who are really the elite at the height of boxing, they all have pretty substantial amateur pedigrees. And I think it's, I agree that you see a lot of guys come into the gym and they're like, I'm ready to go pro now. How do you deal with that? How do you set expectations?
Well, we're very family oriented here too, so I think a lot of it, I'm thankful for that, because a lot of it, they do respect my decision, and whenever they're ready to make that decision, they're kind of like, hey, what do you think about this? And I'm like, no, you're not ready, or this is what could happen. If you want to still go for it, we're gonna support you, but I don't think it's a good idea. So there's a lot of communication in our gym, which I appreciate. But honestly, if there's no need to go pro, I wouldn't do it. It's a lot, the smaller gloves, no headgear, little pay.
Yeah, it's not a huge amount of money straight off the bat. Like I said, you don't,
It looks glamorous and it sounds glamorous, but it's not glamorous until
you're headlining on Showtime.
I was gonna say, until you get there. The rest of the way up there is it's a struggle, man.
What percentage would you guys say, this is something for both of you, I was curious about this, so how many people in the gym of your members are serious boxers versus just fitness and looking for a good workout, weight loss, that kind of stuff?
Marco's had his gym for 10 years, so I'll let him answer that first.
I'd say it's split, so 50-50. But
50-50?
Yeah, but of the 50 that take it serious, maybe only a handful of those guys ever do compete. They want to compete. They say they want to compete, but
they don't train enough, or is it?
No, it's just for one reason or another. They something happens, or it just takes too long, and then they get distracted and they do something else. I mean, for me to keep the business open, training people for fitness,
it helps.
It helps out a lot. But I have the business open because I like to compete, and I like boxing, and I want to be in that part of the sport, But I say it's a 50-50 split. I don't have as many members as Grampas, but
we have a lot of members. I think we have a little bit more of the competition members. We have a lot of amateurs, maybe so I want to say we have more that are in it to compete. I think boxing, when you're looking up a boxing gym, unless you're doing classes at UFC or things like that, when you go to a boxing gym, I think majority of people that are going are looking for that competition or looking for something, maybe in the future do something like that. And then the other ones that kind of just got lucky to stumble across a legitimate boxing gym that aren't here for the classes, but they don't want to compete. I think it's just luck that they came in here.
Well, not everybody wants to get hit in the face.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I tell them. You get fit without getting hit. I'm going to copyright that.
The first thing that, the first boxing class I ever took for about a week, I went and they just jabbed you in the face.
That's awesome.
That's a true story.
I think some gyms do
jab
that because they kind of want to break you down and see who's really here and who's not going to waste my time. Because if you just, wrap them up and stretch them and treat them all nice in the beginning, they're going to expect that every time. And like Marco said, it's not a glamorous sport at all. So they're trying to weed out probably.
Sure. And I don't mean hard. It's not like they were, doing brain damage. Yeah. It was more like, you stand there, you take some jabs, and then you'd slip some, and then you'd take some and you'd slip some. And the explanation that they gave, which made sense at the time, was if I threw a punch at you right now, being completely untrained, your natural reaction would be to hold your hands up and kind of cower away from that. And we want you not to behave like that when we train. Yeah.
Could you hit him back? That's my natural reaction.
That would probably be, I think that's a fighter's natural reaction.
So it's just to sit there and get jabbed in the face for a week. That's what we did.
Well, have you guys ever seen? It's a video floating around on Facebook. I think it might be an MMA gym in Brazil.
It's so silly.
Where this coach lines up all his fighters or his students, and he's throwing hook after hook, left right to their face.
Serious.
Yeah, throwing hard punches, and he's just going down the line.
I think he had a really bad day. I think that's the people that go home and kick their dog after a shitty day at work, and it's you don't do that.
Those people are going to be seriously injured.
Oh,
they're going to have brain damage or something. It's so irresponsible.
Yeah. Some days I feel like doing that, man. But,
with your fighters?
Some days.
Have you guys had to deal with fighters who just wouldn't listen to you?
All the time. They're usually 5 years old, though. Six
That's
and up
different. That's
tend to get it. But I have one kid. He gives me the hardest time. But you know what? I'm very patient with them because, you know, one day if I do have kids, if that day ever comes, I want somebody to be just as patient with my kids. So
Sure.
I try to be patient with them. And I talk to all the parents up front, you know, hey, I'm not here to babysit. If he's not going to listen, I'm not going to be forcing him to listen. I have other kids to coach, and they're all cool with it. I think as long as you're open with the parents, then it's okay.
Let me ask you guys something, because there's a lot of channels now on YouTube and other media platforms that are dedicated to learning the craft of boxing or martial arts in general. So I have two questions. The first is it an effective way to learn? Can I actually learn how to box from YouTube? And it's a serious question.
It depends, though. Are you subscribed to the Grampas Boxing Gym YouTube channel?
Yeah, if you watch my channel, yeah, you'll learn
Watch my
about it.
channel, you'll learn.
Okay, that's good.
You'll definitely learn how
And
to
then-
wrap your hands. I have a tutorial on there.
Good.
So.
And then do you have, do people ever tell you when they come in, I saw this on YouTube, you know,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
and what do you think about this move?
I mean, the day that we live in, YouTube is very beneficial for a lot of things. It just depends on the learner, though. Like, I know myself, I'm not a visual learner. I'm more hands-on. I have to do it. So I wouldn't be able to pick something up off YouTube unless I was, like, practicing it then and there. I definitely would need more of a coach to. But some people, they see it once and then, like, they just boom, 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 do it. And it's like, wait, where did that come from, you know? So definitely.
I feel like, as someone who subscribes to all those channels that you guys are talking about, and I do watch the videos a lot, I feel like you do have to have some sort of knowledge or experience of it to really get the full benefit of what's being taught. Trying to learn a jab from scratch versus picking up new things is a little bit different.
Well, I think the best way to learn is, you know, you practice the fundamentals, but then eventually you get in the ring because you can apply what what you've been learning, and you see how it actually works. And then
everybody
you
has
can
their own style.
Yeah.
You know? Fundamentals first, sure,
Yeah.
and then you can, you know, play around with it.
Well, my favorite is when somebody says, "Hey, I've been watching Mayweather a lot, and I want to do this. This is how I want to box." And it's like, you don't even know how to jab. I don't, you know. So I get that a lot.
Mayweather. I mean, he's a cool guy. I got to meet him a couple times. Super cool guy. But I'm like, not everybody can be a Mayweather. So please keep your hands up. Like when kids come in and they're like, "Well, I want to, you know."
I think
learn how to.
I think they just ruined teaching for some people. You know.
You guys get a lot of shoulder rollers all day.
And they're just catching all the punches with their head. They're not even rolling the head or like nothing. I'm like, oh no, this is bad. This is bad.
That's what I'm talking about.
Applause for these two fighters, folks.
You know, one thing that I wanted to ask, because I get it in the gym. I get it in the gym a lot. You know, with the boxing gym, it's not necessarily a tough man sport or a tough sport, but you get a lot of egos. A lot of times you get new people coming into the gym, and they have maybe a preconceived notion that, like, I got to go in there and be the baddest guy in there, like the first day.
Yeah.
Do you ever come across that in your gym where somebody comes in with an attitude and you got to just check them?
We're very lucky. I think it's because it's a gym ran by females. Since Grandpa passed, it's myself. I brought my mom on board, and Grandma's here. So it is all females. But yeah, if not, maybe it might be a little bit different. I gotta go, you guys.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks,
We'll
Jessica.
come back to that. The show just ended for people listening. The show just ended, and I am hosting, so I gotta run.
All right.
Thank you guys for
Well, being
having me.
Grace's host. Thank you.
Thanks, Jessica.